निश्चित हार। हार निश्चित है, वो भी जानती थी। फिर भी मौत से वो लड़ती रही। नतमस्तक समर्पण तो है निशानी कायरों की। उन नतमस्तक से युगों तक वो लड़ती रही। Nanu wrote this parchi after returning from a funeral of a distant family member, Padma Kaki. Padma Kaki was a typical homemaker. Her world revolved around her husband and 3 children. Her husband was in the business of supplying cleaning material and earned pretty well. She was a great cook and a very good host. Nanu used to enjoy many meals at their humble house. But suddenly one rainy afternoon, Padma Kaki's husband, Madan Kaka, passed away in a road accident. Her elder daughter was 14, the son was 11, and the youngest daughter was just 8.
Padma Kaki realized she had to now fight the battle of life all alone. There was no support from any corner. One brother of the late husband tried his best to be of some help, but he was himself so deprived and struggling to make ends meet that he couldn't really help Padma Kaki in any concrete way. Kaki was undoubtedly at her wits' end about how to survive in a city like Mumbai with 3 very young children. Almost 6 months went away and she wasn't able to come out from the shock of having lost her husband. But then, when the family savings began to deplete, Padma Kaki realized that she would herself have to do something to bring up her children. Padma Kaki had received some amount as her husband's insurance settlement. With that money as her capital, she began her new life. With a grit and determination that no one had ever expected from the timid and shy Padma Kaki, she started doing the rounds of all the offices, dealers, vendors to whom her husband used to supply cleaning materials and drinking water. She would spend hours outside offices, cajoling, begging, and requesting people to give her the contract for the same. Some outright rejected her, some gave her help, and some even tried to score over her sexually. But with a dogged firmness of mind and a never say die spirit, Padma Kaki plodded on.
On one of her rounds, Padma Kaki came across Kokilabin, who owned a small Gruha Udyog. Kokilabin knew that Padma Kaki was a brilliant cook and asked her to supply some homemade snacks to the Gruha Udyog. Padma Kaki readily agreed.
So now, Kaki's day would begin at 4 a.m. She would make snacks till nearly 8 a.m. Then she would leave for her office rounds, sometimes by train, sometimes by bus. She would come back by 6 p.m. Then Kaki and her eldest daughter Priya, they would go to the market to buy the raw material for the next day's snacks. This became the daily routine for their household. Priya helped around as much as she could. In fact, she had taken over the complete responsibility for her younger siblings.
Padma Kaki's back-breaking routine continued each day relentlessly. Like a precise clockwork, she would tick away through the day, never wasting even a moment. For nearly 8 years, Padma Kaki could be seen up and available from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Family members who had initially avoided her, thinking that she would perhaps become a financial burden on them, now began to openly praise her. Perhaps all of them secretly envied her perseverance and determination. Nanu respected her immensely and did his bit by ordering snacks during festival times from Padma Kaki.
Padma Kaki became a living example of the old proverb, actions speak louder than words. She hardly ever spoke, only worked relentlessly from morning to night. This made other women at the Griha Udyog look up to Kaki as a role model. They would love to listen to Kaki talk about her struggles to obtain contracts for supply of cleaning materials, their procurements, hiring transportation to supply them, making the endless kilos of snacks, and also bringing up her 3 children.
Kokilaben's Griha Udyog supported women from all walks of life: prostitutes, single women, single mothers, victims of domestic violence, widows, old women who had been turned out of their houses by their children. Though the work at the Griha Udyog was relentless, back-breaking and never-ending seemingly, yet Kokilaben saw to it that every day all these women would get at least 30 minutes of spare time to talk to each other, to discuss their lives and bring out their emotions. And if in these 30 minutes Padma Kaki would come around to the Griha Udyog, then all the women there would simply surround her, sit around her and listen attentively to her talk about her trials and tribulations of life.
One such afternoon, when Kaki was sharing her story with some new women of the Griha Udyog, she suddenly collapsed. A doctor was immediately called. He asked to get some blood tests done. Kokilaben accompanied Padma Kaki to the doctor. The news was devastating. Kaki had aplastic anemia, which meant the body had stopped producing enough blood cells. The doctor's instructions were clear. This is a serious condition, Padma. Stop all your work right away and simply rest. Padma Kaki listened attentively, but didn't reply.
Apart from Kokilaben, Padma Kaki chose not to inform anyone about her precarious health condition. Though Kaki knew her time was almost up, she neither stopped working nor did she pause to lament and cry over her approaching end. Determined as ever, Padma Kaki refused to be bogged down by her medical condition. Priya got to know about it, but over the years, hadn't she too become as much of a fighter as her mother was? That the next few months were very tough would be an understatement. Each day threw different challenges to Padma Kaki. Some days she wouldn't even have the strength to stand up. On some other days, she would just flop down while working. And at times, even a minor cut while chopping veggies would bleed uncontrollably. However, there were days when Padma Kaki would feel okay. But throughout this period, what remained constant was Padma Kaki's determination to not give up and her readily smiling face. In spite of the several battles she fought in every living moment of her life, she did not let it show on her face.
When a common acquaintance informed Nanu about Padma Kaki's condition, he was shocked. He went to see Kaki and tried to convince her to quit working and take complete rest. All Kaki said then was, "Pachi to aaram જ કરવાનું છે ને. All I have to do later is just rest." Nanu couldn't say much thereafter. He was in awe of not only how she had come up on her own, supported her family, but also how she still continued to fight each day.
15 days after Nanu met Padma Kaki, she passed away. She had collapsed at a railway station after delivering the morning snacks, never to get up again. She continued working and fighting till her last breath. Everyone at the funeral was teary-eyed and couldn't stop talking about what an example she had set for her children and for everyone else in the family, in the building, in the society. Her children were undoubtedly shattered. But then at the same time, they were very proud of the life that their mother had lived and set such an example for everyone else.
Bidding adieu to Kaki for the last time, all Nanu could say was, "Hats off to you, Padma, hats off." Nanu wrote this parchi after her funeral in her memory as a gesture of immense respect. The parchi precisely describes Kaki's last few days. She had known all along that she wasn't going to win this battle and that death was certain. But Padma Kaki never once gave up. She held her head high and kept fighting till her very last breath. हार निश्चित है वो भी जानती थी, फिर भी मौत से वो लड़ती रही। नतमस्तक समर्पण तो है निशानी कायरों की, उन्नत मस्तक से युगों तक वो लड़ती रही, युगों तक वो लड़ती रही।